That's
Hello.
right, guys. Back with another weekly live show on the Treehouse, on the Submarine Treehouse, with a brand new intro. If you also think we look better this week, it's because I upgraded to full 1080 HD streaming. So that's the reason why we absolutely are looking better.
It's a good thing I shaved.
And we also have a huge panel today. Very fun one. There's Pac. Pac, how are you doing, Pac?
Hi, everyone. How are you?
And hey. Definitely want to. We have so many new people. If you can just we'll go around clockwise, starting with you, Ro. Just say who you are, where you're from, and then maybe a little bit about you.
Yeah, you said starting with Ro?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hello everybody. My name is Ro Lamb. I am the writer of Scarlett Ranger. I write comic books, short stories, screenplays. You name it, I probably write it. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm married. I have 4 sons, and I enjoy playing basketball. That's a fun fact about me.
Amazing. We got Mo Biggs, we got Black Rose Comics, and we got General Piggy in the house. Thank you guys for joining in.
Welcome.
Lindsay and JL.
Hey. So we are the 2 parts of Oneshi Press. We're a small indie comics publisher based out of Missoula, Montana. I am Lindsay. I am sort of the word person, writer, editor, all things word related.
I'm JL Draco. I am the illustrator, designer, and yeah, that's our team right there.
Yeah.
Very cool. I have to ask because everybody's thinking it. You guys are sharing the screen. Are you guys in a relationship?
Yeah,
Yes.
We're partners in all things.
Work, life, crime, you name it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Very intrusive, Armand. Very.
I had to. Everybody was asking. You know what I'm saying? It was on everybody's.
It was on everybody's mind. Yeah.
Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey Hardiman. I'm the writer-creator of Sister Mercy, which is currently on issue 6, which is on Kickstarter right now, and I am from Middleton, Nova Scotia, up in Canada.
Amazing. I've been meaning to meet Corey for about a year now, I think. Your campaigns were one of the few I studied like intensely leading up to my first campaign this year.
Awesome, thank you.
Very cool to meet you.
Awesome, nice to meet you too.
Is it me?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Kayla Rainey. I am an artist and illustrator working mostly in indie comics. And I'm with Ro Lamb, who you guys met earlier. We're working on Scarlett Ranger and some other really cool, exciting stuff together. And I'm based out of Orlando, Florida. And that's pretty much all that's interesting about me, other than I like to paint things, not just work on computers.
Well, there we go. Yeah. And Pac and Pedro, you can just say a little bit and maybe where you're from.
Why?
Pedro,
go ahead,
Pedro. You always go first.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Pedro. I'm based in Panama City, Panama, the country. It's really hot and it's cicada season. So if you hear stuff, it's me.
Pedro has to keep reintroducing himself to me because I keep forgetting where he's from. It's only for me, you guys.
Yeah.
Pac?
Hi, I'm Pac. I'm the artist of Elixir. I'm from Florida. Born and raised in Hong Kong. And what else? I love playing darts. I love basketball. I suck at both, but yeah, that's my hobby.
He's in a big league in the dart league in Florida, so he's being humble here, but awesome. So definitely want to kind of just talk about what everybody's doing. Currently, I would consider these the hottest titles in indie crowdfunding comics currently, and there's, between, Corey's Sister Mercy. Oh man, that I definitely want to jump into Sister Mercy. Mainly, it's such a catchy title, Corey. Tell me, how did you come up with this name, and what inspired this character?
The name was always in my head for years, even before I made the character. I mean, there was the band Sisters of Mercy, and that's always just been, a common group of words you hear together. So it always just jumped in my head as Sister Mercy would be a cool name for it. And then I was just at work one day, and a friend of mine was, I'm a big Moon Knight fan, and like 8 years ago, when we first started Sister Mercy, a friend of mine messaged me from out west, and she's like, "Who's this character you keep sharing pictures of?" And I was like, "Oh, that's just Moon Knight." And I told her about that, and she's like, "Well, you write and I draw, so why don't we do a comic?" And I said, "Sure. How about a schizophrenic nun that hears the voice of God with big boobs traveling through the desert, post-apocalyptic style?" Like, this was all there, bam, right, just like that.
Absolutely.
And then 8 years later, that stopped for a few years. It didn't quite get off the ground. The project sat for about 4 or 5 years, and then Ricardo Silva from Brazil found it online, actually, and messaged me and asked me if he could draw a picture, commission a picture. And so I looked at it, and I said, sure. I loved it, and I said, let's go ahead with the first issue. And that was 3-4 years ago now, and it's just been full speed ahead ever since.
So how long has it taken you till you came up with your first issue? Because it sounds like there was like a 5-year waiting period before, right? And then it was so stop and go. It was going to be a comic, then it was going to be a novel, then it was going to be a comic again, right? And then, but once Ricardo jumped on board, once he got a hold of me, and we've just been going so fast, and production has just been increasing so much. Like his speed has been increasing, but the quality of his work is not slipping by any means because he's going faster. So he makes it so much easier for me. I hear so many other artists that commission, or so many other writers, creators that commission artists that just have nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. And knock on wood, I've been really blessed that way.
Okay. Here's a valid question.
Yes, Mo Biggs asks, how long has Corey been known as the Sam Elliott of comics? Corey.
Awesome. I'm going to say, well, since you read that question, would probably be when it started. That's awesome. I think that is a great compliment.
That's a great title. Like, I would wear that on a T-shirt. Like, I'm the Sam Elliott of comics.
Usually I get like Chad Kroger, the singer Nickelback, is like the ugliest man in music. So I cut my hair, so I'll attribute it to that.
Oh, man, I just want to showcase some of this artwork because it is amazing. I saw you got CB Zane for you. He is a friend. He's a friend of the channel. He'll be coming on short, maybe in a week or two. But yeah, this artwork is just impressive. And how many? So this is issue number 6. How many more issues do you have in mind?
It's going to be 8 issues to tell the first complete story arc, and so we're closing in on the end now, which is evident in the comics. It's been one complete story, so that's why I sell them as chapters more so than issues. And there's a spin-off coming out called Hope and Sin, involving 2 characters that are introduced in issue 5, and that's probably going to just be a 4-issue miniseries. But there's still more to come down the road after that. Like issue 8 is the end of the first arc. But it's a full complete story, but it's not necessarily the end, depending upon how things go.
One thing I have to say is that good art makes me hungry.
There you go.
He's eating. So you know what that means. That's a good sign. I'll tell you what, Corey. I have not backed this yet, and I've been meaning to do it for a while, and it's just so incredible. I'm gonna back it right now for everybody to see.
Awesome.
I do want people to really take notice of this in particular. And I already know what I'm going to get. It's the catch-up tier. I know I saw it before.
You're gonna dox yourself. Watch out.
I don't think so. I think this is the one I want. This is all the print editions. I will do it.
Don't do it.
Should I do it? All right, and then we'll try to maybe we'll stop sharing at that moment.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to expose
Thanks
yourself
so much.
like
That's
that.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's such a cool, clever concept. It caught my attention again, like almost like a year ago, and you kept putting out this great work, and I can't wait to read it and see what you do next.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much.
So it's very cool. Next up, I would really want to, on the vein of I think, would you consider, Corey, Sister Mercy like a sexy comic? Like,
Oh, 100%. It's no holds barred. It would be not the type of comic you would pick up from a mainstream publisher by any means. That wasn't my intention when I first started. When I ran my first Kickstarter, I was, I think, hitting the third week, and I wasn't even halfway to $5,000, and it was completely tanking. And I went online and just looked at everything. It's like, well, what's working and what's not? And nude covers were going. So I just got Ricardo and I said, how fast can you do a new cover? And he had one ready within the week. And all of a sudden we hit our 5,000 mark. And people were asking, is it just the cover or is there sexy content in the interior? So I'm like, well, there is now. So I actually, at that point, scrapped the first half of the original script halfway through the campaign, and I told them, stop drawing what I've sent you, and I'm going to send you a reworked second half of the script, and added it, but it added it in such a way so that it's not gratuitous. Like it adds to the story. It all fits. It's not just, oh, here's a random shower scene or anything like that. Like I like to think it advances the story, but at the same time, it's no holds barred. Like there's a few panels that come up in later issues that are people have really, gotten the wow factor out of it, right? It's not something you're going to see in a Marvel DC comic.
So you would say it's justified nipples or justified nudity?
If it was just nipples, it's justified everything. Yeah, it's
everything justified the car. I like it.
Exactly. I love it.
No, because
I need that on a T-shirt.
No,
it's definitely a major part of it, but story first, and it has to serve the story, which I feel like it does, anyways. And from the feedback of the backers, people that read it, they say that they buy it for the what's the common word? Fan service, and but they stay for the plot. So that's like the best compliment I could get. So I love hearing stuff like that.
Mo Biggs has a comment here. He says, first a car drives by and splashes her with mud, so the shower scene carries relevance. That's you know what I'm saying?
And here's Black Rose being Black Rose.
Yes, right. That's right. That's good old
We all love it. We all love it, B-Rose.
Okay, so that I think leads us perfectly onto Lindsay and JL's new comic book, because I would say I don't even know, what difference between, is there a difference between sexy and NFSW? Because is that taken to like a whole new level, Lindsay and JL?
Well, yes, I don't know exactly what goes on in your comic, so I don't know where the lines are drawn exactly, but our comic, Tracy Queen, is about a porn star. So her story necessarily involves a lot of nudity and beyond, shall we say. Yeah.
Very
good.
I have to read again.
What?
She's not safe for work. We did work pretty hard to make the Kickstarter page safe for work, so that people don't have to be worried about looking at it and sending us some money while they're at work. If anyone will.
I mean, most people that back for Kickstarter are definitely at work, so we were aware of that.
Okay, so this is finally the interior we're looking at. Very cool. And that's Tracy Queen, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yes.
We make it a big point, if we show a character looking sexy, it's because that character is in a moment where it makes sense for them to be being sexy, right? Like, as opposed to like, oh, this character is, at work, but they just happen to be having like this, car wash splash sexy moment. It's like, no, she's actually trying to be sexy. That's why she's sexy.
Also, her
it's
work
all very
is being
appropriate.
sexy, so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's good to be paid for that.
Yeah, it's sexy for tax purposes.
Yeah.
Precisely.
That page looks great. The Kickstarter page, and it keeps going too. Actually, what was this? Who designed this? Did you guys design this?
Yes.
And I'm sure this is not your first campaign. I think you've done.
This is our
11th campaign.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
guys are veterans.
Yeah. Like this just keeps going, and I was like, oh man, they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? When I kept scrolling,
marathon scroll situation. You might want to do some warm ups for your hand first.
I like this Lego minifigure. I think that's a super cool thing.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you could see that or if it's out of focus, but
Oh wait, let me blow you up right here.
What?
Oh, look at that! I mean, I love the concept. I love the concept of battle.
it's just totally out of focus. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
She looks really good in real life.
I
I swear.
promise she's not actually blurry.
So the story of Tracy Queen is that the character was raised to be the heiress to a crime syndicate, and she was raised as a fighter. So when she starts the story, she knows all about violence. She can kill somebody with just about anything she has on hand, and we see her do that several times throughout the book. But she makes the decision that she doesn't want to live that life anymore. She doesn't feel fulfilled. She feels like she's been sheltered from the rest of the world. And she doesn't even know herself. So she kind of strikes out on her own. And the first thing that she finds as a way to make money on her own is as an adult webcam model. And she's very concerned about it, but she really needs some money. So she decides to give it a try. And it turns out that she really likes it. And she's really good at it. So she's like, all right, well, I'm giving up violence and I'm pursuing pleasure. So that's her motivation throughout the story, but it's not so easy because she comes under a lot of pressure from the crime syndicate that she left. They want her to come back and work for them. And meanwhile, sort of the king of like the mainstream adult entertainment industry sees that she's making a ton of money.
Finger.
He's evil. He sees that she's making a lot of money for herself instead of making money for him, and he does not like that, so he comes after her as well. So naturally, like anyone in her situation would do, she creates a race of cyborg clones to serve as her army so that she can protect herself with the help of her raccoon best friend. So that's the story.
That's crazy. I have a question. How much research did you do? Because you seem like experts. I don't even know what's happening right now. But are you guys like? Did you guys like do research? What prompted this entire idea? And then how did you like really dig deep to get all these relationships and make it like real?
I spent about 10 years as a journalist writing specifically about the porn industry. So I did, yes, a lot of research.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you sound so intelligent talking about it. I'm just like, what's happening? But yeah, that's
yeah.
Another interesting question by Mo.
Raccoon, is this furry degeneracy?
Yeah.
Well,
wait, did you say furry degeneracy?
I mean, it's you don't have to respond to that one, but
but there's no. Everyone always asks, like, does the raccoon get in on the NSFW? No. There's no animal nudity, or I mean, I guess animals.
Yeah, so the answer is no. There's no cheating on raccoons in this comic, Mo.
No. So, but. He has his own problems, and he's battling with addiction.
Cool.
He's got his own issues, separate from Tracy's, and together they both
help
face their issues and support each other on their own separate but connected journeys. So,
Nicola the raccoon is actually an engineering expert, so he helps with the cybernetics. And the engineering of the cyborg clones, obviously.
This is a very far out story. I don't
know if I can bend my
I'm into this. This is great.
There we go.
What is happening here?
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. Queen action figure and Nicola next to each other.
Nice. Oh man, is that something you can get on the campaign?
Yeah, it's the Tracy Queen is right now is on our high tier rewards. She's super realistic, super posable, super badass. Nicola is
do not have Nicola action figures yet.
There.
Not yet.
There's
but this is only issue 3. There are more coming, so we'll see.
Oh, awesome.
Of course.
Okay, so are you doing a finite story, or you want this to be like an ongoing story, like a normal American superhero fare?
It's finite.
It's a finite story? Cool.
Yeah, we're going for 8 issues that will eventually be collected together into one gigantic book.
Awesome.
Now, we also have a lot of like spin-offs. We're doing an annual anthology series, and for a little while there, we were including 8 pages of Tracy Queen from her story in each anthology. But our anthologies are getting bigger and more spaced out, and so that was slowing down our release schedule for Tracy Queen and Pack, our other comic book series. So what we're doing instead is in the anthologies, we're just going to include spin-off stories. So it'll be like Tracy Queen, but not from her main story. It'll be a side quest, just little side tangents of like this time that she had to go rescue her girlfriend from the mob, like, or whatever little side quests come up. So there's going to be a lot of other Tracy Queen stories outside of this finite 8-issue series.
Amazing. I love that. I love that people think, past their one series, especially with these spin-offs. I would like to do a spin-off. Pedro knows I'm crazy because I have so many IPs out there right now. I just do another book, and a whole entirely new book instead of a spin-off. But it's something that I think really centers the fan base around it, right? And then it also it definitely expands the universe and really makes people feel like it's more real, and they always want to come back to Tracy Queen or whatever. Same thing with, I guess that's what Corey's doing with Sister Mercy. Yeah. I have a particular question for Corey, actually, that I forgot, and it was because you're not in the US, but how do you do fulfillment that you ship worldwide? How do you do that, Corey?
Shipping from Canada is actually pretty tricky because there's no tracking with it to send if I were to get tracking on everything, it would just be, the shipping would be so astronomical for everybody, it would just not be worthwhile. But we don't have media mail. What we have, letter mail, which is, I guess, sort of the equivalent, except from what I see arguments online about media mail in the States, people saying it's, should or shouldn't be used. The difference up here is it's perfectly legal up here to use letter mail. Nobody's going to open it to see the contents or anything like that. It doesn't come with tracking, because tracking to the US is absolutely astronomical. But out of I'm going to say probably well over 1,000 packages I sent out over the course of 6 campaigns, I've only had to resend 2, I believe. And I think one was Australia and the other one was to Malaysia. So been pretty good for the most part.
It's always the Aussies.
They always take the longest to get their packages.
Yeah,
that's for sure. The mail service there is pretty slow.
That's amazing. And you just package it all yourself and ship it out? Is that what
I do? Yeah, I order everything, all the stretch goals. I have it all sent to me. I switched. I was printing the comics out of with Indie Planet down in Florida originally. The biggest problem was the wait for shippings. It would take over a month to get here from Florida. Now I've done it doing it in Ontario, so I'm getting it in a matter of days from when they send it out. And so it's actually really decreased the time in between campaigns. So as soon as I can fulfill one, we're pretty much ready to jump into the next one, which is good because it helps to keep people's interest up a little bit. So.
Yeah, same with me. I definitely try to, I try to place the print order right when the campaign launches, actually, so that by the time it's done, I already get the books and I can just put them out and then worry about the next one. Yeah. Again, I'm crazy, so we don't have to worry about it. I want, Mo Biggs is up here saying something about I have a discounted Amodia mail due to a total lack of interest. Yeah, that's all right, Mo. That's perfectly all right. So I want to say, I actually just, I just met all of you, very recently, but Ro,
somebody.
But I saw Kayla after she came back from her, hiatus on social media. Yeah. And then I reached out. I was like, oh, I definitely want to meet you, want to talk to you. And then she brought up something about Ro, and I was like, oh man. And I actually knew Ro Lamb from your Kickstarter, because again, I studied all the Kickstarters last year, so I saw your Kickstarter, and then I was like, oh yeah, bring him on the show. And I just, how did that was your first campaign, right, Ro?
Yes, sir.
And how did that go? Like, what was your thought process leading up to it? How long did it take for you to actually launch?
Well, first off, thank you for having me. And earlier, Kayla said she was with me. I actually think I'm with her. I just want to put that out there. And you said, how long did it? You asked how long did it take to launch?
Yeah, like not launch. Like how long? It took Corey maybe 5 years. He said, before he had the confidence to launch his book. How long did it take for you to launch your book?
Yeah, mine was. I mean, it's a very similar story. I had an art team that I got together. This was probably 2014, maybe 2013. Had an art team together, was working on it then, and everything just fell apart, and so I walked away from it for a couple of years, and then I found, another art team, and that fell apart. And then it wasn't until, maybe I guess 2 years ago now, or right before the pandemic hit, it was like, all right, I'm doing this no matter what. We getting this done. And so it took me a good, 8 to 9 years to actually get it, get it rolling. So.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
incredible. And I do understand. Me and Pac have been working on this book, Elixir, for just over like 2 years now. And when we launched it, it was one of those moments that it really culminated a whole 2-year journey.
Absolutely.
I just want to jump in, Pac. Did you want to do a live drawing? We do have a lot of people in the chat. Maybe you can do a giveaway.
Oh no, I gotta go soon today.
You gotta go.
I just
All
want
right,
to stick for a little bit.
the next one for sure. I know there's an interesting chat. We do
Next
art
time.
giveaways, live drawing art giveaways by Pac. So stick around. We'll do one next
Yeah,
time.
dude. I mean, Pac is the chairman. It's like, I gotta go, guys.
I always gotta go.
Yeah.
There's always somewhere to
Ginge himself actually won the first one.
Yeah, he
he
did.
won the first drawing. He hangs it proudly on his wall, and they all by being in the live chat. So stick around, you guys. Stick around for sure. Ro, so 8 to 9 years. What was and I have the thing here. I want to maybe just show. So you did a Kickstarter for it. It got funded. Were you surprised at the showing that came out of it, like the amount of support that the community rallied behind it?
I was blown away. I mean, we launched on, I want to say, it was November 1st, and we were funded by November the 3rd, the first 2 days. I mean, people tell you, hey, we're going to come out, we're going to support, we're going to be there day one, but you never really know, you know what I'm saying? That day comes,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they said they're going to come, but you don't really know. And the people who told me they were coming, they came through. And I had a lot of friends, in the industry who I've built relationships with, and they were sharing my stuff. And I mean, it was just such an honor, just to see that. I mean, these are my heroes, you know what I'm saying? And they're saying, hey, y'all got to go back this book. And so I was shocked. I was blown away. I was expecting to be, scraping and clawing at the very end, trying to get to that goal. And even, I talked to my mom, and my mom was like, she was waiting until the last day. She was like, I was going to help you, bump over the goal. But she said, you're way past the goal now, And so I was blown away, humbled. And I mean, I could cry right now thinking about it, honestly.
That's amazing. And I understand that feeling. I think a lot of us, because we are part of indie crowdfunding comics, we understand that the support that people show, it really means a lot. Each and every one,
Sure.
I think, I don't know how many people, how many backers you had. I had like 80 backers this last campaign.
Hey, Kayla.
Each one of them, and I appreciate each one of them because
Kayla,
really...
that art.
Which art?
Your art.
just all of it, what you're putting out there, Kayla.
No.
He's hungry. He only eats when he sees good art.
No, exactly.
The art on me, the art on my walls.
Yeah.
Gotta be more specific.
The art. Well, I'm just saying, like, you're working with Ro, right?
Oh, so on Scarlett Ranger, I had a different artist on issue 1.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah.
That's what the other artist, but the art behind also.
Yeah.
No. Very good. I'm gonna get fat here.
I was curious about that as well because I remember Kayla's like, oh, I'm doing Scarlet Ranger of her own, and then I like double checked. I was like, is that was she working on that? Also, like I remember the artwork, and then I saw her artwork, and I was like, I don't think they match. And then she explained to me that it was the next issue, right? So how did that happen? Why did you guys like what was the shift in artist change, and then when can we expect issue 2? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the first artist was Coy Carry-On. We worked on it together, and he's great. And when we got through with the campaign, I hadn't really talked to him about issue 2 because I was just like waiting to see how the campaign was going to go. And it went so good. And so I was like, yo, let's do issue 2. And he was like, oh, I got some stuff I got to do. So I was like, well, you got some stuff you got to do. And so I don't even know how me and Kayla connected.
I think through Ruben Romero, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I discovered Ro through Scarlett Ranger. I backed his Kickstarter, and I think I reached out and was like, man, I am like in love with this story. And once I got the interior, once I got the actual physical copy of the book, that was when we really started developing a relationship, talking about the art that he had done for you and just being like, man, this is amazing. Like, congratulations. Yeah.
Right. So then I was trying to figure out what I was going to do about, my artist, this next issue. And I was like, maybe I'll just wait. And then I saw Kayla said something on the internet one day. She was like, hey, I got some space opening up. I was like, Kayla got space opening up. I'm like, yo, I got to figure out how to get this money together. Kayla, can we do this? And she was like, let's go. And so we just hit the ground running.
Absolutely. It sounds like it was a perfect opening opportunity and the right time and place. And
stars aligned.
It's that, and also the most important thing is choosing the right artist for any project. I talk about choosing Pac because he really believed in the story, but he also understood what we were going for. He had a special connection to this story, and then also we were on the same path. The trajectory, the vision that was shared was the same, and that's so important. It's going to keep the momentum through all the times when it's tough, when it takes longer than you expect. And I think it's super cool that you guys kind of were able to do that. I do just want to jump back into these comments because Mo Biggs is going off on Pedro here. He said, "Damn, Pedro sounds more thirsty than hungry."
Hey, my man has needs. I don't want to get dehydrated.
and then he said, "B-Rose, did I mention you have set a bad example for Pedro?" So B-Rose eats, he's always hungry as well, and then Pedro is trying to go for that, following his footsteps apparently. But yeah, I think I'm super curious about when is issue 2 coming. How long ago did you guys how long have you been working on this, and then when can we expect it out?
You want to take this, Kayla? You want to do this?
Well, you know better than I do when the Kickstarter is coming out. I'm just doing the drawings. But we've been working on it so actually I did a pinup for the first Scarlet Ranger, which was like the first project that Ro and I worked on together, and it was my first introduction to Dion, who's the main character in Scarlet Ranger. And I think it was at that point where I was secretly starting to hope, like, man, I want to work on this. I don't know how I'm going to, because at that point I was booked out like 8 months in advance, and I knew he was going to run another issue, and fate just had it where we ended up being able to work together. And that was in February, late February.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Something like that. And we're shooting for June. The 1st of June is when we're going to run the second issue. We're finishing up the graphites like today. So
that's super cool. I want to jump back into what is it called? Number 1 in particular, because I see here that it actually was canceled or not canceled. Is that it was was it canceled? Did it not fund? What happened?
Yeah, I just accidentally launched it and was like, oh no, I didn't mean to launch it.
That happened. I could understand that.
Yeah, I remember that. There was sort of like a rash of that last year, I think. I don't remember, but it was like everyone that we knew was accidentally launching Kickstarters for a little while. I think they must have like changed the interface, so it was like way easy to press that button by accident.
If I remember right, they made the prepare to launch button like very prominent, and you're like, oh yeah, I want to prepare to launch, and that actually launched your campaign, and you were like, no, I didn't want to launch it, I wanted to prepare to launch.
Right.
And that actually happened.
Oh, look at that. We have General Piggy.
Yeah.
He's intrigued by Scarlet Ranger.
Let's go.
So when is it coming out? Did you tease us with a date yet, or like an official date, or?
So June 1st, we will be doing as of right now, that's when we're going to do the next Kickstarter. Before then, at some point, we'll have a 5-page preview, which will be fully colored and lettered for everybody to, enjoy and get ready for issue 2 to be on Kickstarter. So.
No, that sounds amazing. I think we're all looking forward to it. And again, I think, of course, Kale's an amazing artist, but I think the story. How was the feedback? I'm sure it's been out for a few months now. Has the feedback been great after the Kickstarter reception?
I mean, it's been amazing. I actually was able to get the comic book into 4 comic book stores here in Atlanta, and it sold out of 3 of them. And I have to check on the fourth one. I think they may have sold out as well. The last time I went, they only had 2 left. And so they've been running out of the stores, and people have just been messaging me and emailing me, just telling me how much they appreciate the story and the message behind it and the artwork, obviously. And so I'm just excited to keep the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? Keep the momentum going.
No, that's so true. I have a comic shop there, Comic Syndicate. Do you know them? I don't know if you know him, but write them down. His name is John, is the owner, and he's very cool. And he'll take your book. I'm sure he will. He takes my book, so if he takes my book, he'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad to hear. You know, again, because part of I think taking indie comics crowdfunding to the next level is making a push into the retail network, into the stores, and getting it in front of more people. So it's great to see more people do it. And I encourage and
Corey
really
just turned into the ending of Indiana Jones. What happened to him? That's scary. Well, are you all right, Corey?
Corey really needs some mercy.
My internet connection went really weird, so I started using another device and it went black. My screen, I can't even see it, and I thought it was done. So I'm really sorry about that. My internet connection is really playing.
It's all right. It's just like your face is frozen and looks melted, but you're all right, and that's what counts.
We're all very glad that your face isn't actually melted.
Yeah, you look like the ice cream man in that Image comic book, you know.
Hey, I just wanted to say, I gotta go, guys. It was nice seeing you.
There goes the chairman.
See you, Pat.
See ya.
Kayla, I want to bring up, because what instantly drew me to your account was actually you did have some animation background. But before we get into that, I want to play. I guess it is a trailer. But actually, wait, Pedro, where is it? Is it somewhere in the right here? So Pedro is also an animator himself.
Let's go.
And before we get into your critique on that little bit he did, what is the band or the song that you did? I want to definitely play a sample of that. Do you remember the name of it, Kayla?
For me? Dear Mother, A Soul for Hire.
A Soul for Hire, because you did if you want to describe it, how did that even come together? Because you did a music video that was an animated music video for a band.
I did. So Dear Mother is a UK, Netherlands-based metal band with Meryl Bechtold, who is a very well-known guitarist in Europe, kind of helping front the band, and David Pear, who's the lead singer and actually a super, super talented videographer, is the guy that I was working with on the animation. They hired me after I put together a sample comic panel for them, and we have ended up working together on a couple projects since then, some animation based, some just like design based, and it ended up being my most prolific animation piece that's gone out into the world. And actually, I, as a result of it, I'm now working on 2 more music video animations.
That's crazy.
With different artists.
Let's go, Kayla.
I think when I reached out to you, I was like, oh, let's talk about doing something, and then I'm like, oh, you're so busy, Kayla. Oh man, that's crazy.
You gotta put your bid in really early with me, man.
But I want to showcase just a few seconds of this because it was pretty impressive. Thanks. And maybe we'll do some swaps of some I don't know, just reviews of
back and forth.
Yeah, of your between animators. You know what I'm saying? So this is. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button there by accident, but I will
It happened.
real quick.
It was cool so far.
I was enjoying that.
The break of dawn, imprisonment at sea. I'm never sure you won't remember. Easing myself to face the reality. Seasons decide to enter into me. Closing my eyes, I'm scared to breathe. Now you're smart enough to see.
Awesome. I definitely want to talk about the role of animation because I do believe that, and I talked to both of you about this, Pedro and Kayla, that one of the ways to take comics to the next level, in particular, is animation. It really, getting more than just the book, creating an IP that's valuable that people can really enjoy in multiple mediums, and the way that animation really brings it to life. It's super cool. The way music also works into that. I think it worked, really well. How long did it take you to make that?
Well, okay. So it was originally only supposed to be like 100 panels, and then and done in layers. So we would manipulate the layers within those 100 panels. But I think it ended up being closer to 170. So we actually ended up extending the deadline by about 4 or 5 weeks in the interest of like continuity and a cohesive looking video. But I mean, that like took over my life for a good like 4 months.
Yeah, animation tends to do that.
Pedro knows that very well. Pedro knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bring it up only because I think that people need to be doing more of this on Kickstarter in particular. Corey, I bring it up in particular for you because I don't think you've ever done a campaign video. Is this correct? Oh, man.
I did a short one actually for the IndieGogo campaign that I did here last year. And I just started talking to somebody a few days ago about doing an animated comic for actually issue 1, doing a completely, not animated, but a motion comic for the entire first issue. So I want to see where that goes.
Very cool. Corey, if you want, stay after this meeting and we'll talk with you and Pedro about how we can get you an animated trailer for the next one. And I'll bring this up because I'll play my trailer right now for Elixir that Pedro did. And I think it elevates to the next level. You guys will see. You guys will be the judge for yourselves. But this in particular is because, I don't know, hopefully B-Rose is still here, but I'm going to now take Elixir. It just ended on his Kickstarter. I'm going to take it to IndieGogo next month. We're going to do it right.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. And we're going to play it right now.
Yeah, do it.
I can feel the blood leaking out of me, draining out all that I am, my memories, my pain, my happiness. There's something different in the air. I feel it in every breath I take. It's flooding over my body and mind. It feels like death.
A new presence has been created in the universe. It is an abomination. A new embodiment of death.
Cyrus, the monster hunter, you will leave now. This is not a fight you can win.
You are angry at the world, at your place in it. Your weakness, your mortality. Anger is good. It will keep you alive.
Angels, demons, they're all the same. All monsters, all my prey.
I choose you, Cyrus, the monster hunter. I give you your greatest hunt. I name you my champion.
Why? Why won't my body, this world, let me die in peace?
All right. There we have it.
That
I
was
feel
tough.
like my hair should be like
That's
blown
great.
back.
Yes.
That's definitely the feeling we were going for, you know. So trying to bring
Drama.
I have a background in video production, all of that, and you know, I'm trying to take it all, incorporate everything into the next level. I also have a background in music and business, so it's kind of crazy again, crazy man here. But one of the things I'm trying to do is take it, create these animated trailers, maybe really put people in the world, And again, I'm so curious about.
Sorry.
I'm so curious about what Pedro and Kayla, you guys think about each other's animations. Go ahead. Go crazy.
I don't know. The thing is, like, I don't know if you guys want. I can show you the trailer for my campaign, and then we'll talk about animation. I guess.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Let me just go back.
suena mi tumbao, el party se pone caliente, seguro que tú te lo gozas, porque este flow sí que está en bomba. Cuando suena mi tumbao, el party se pone caliente, seguro que tú te lo gozas, porque este flow sí que está en bomba. Cuando suena mi tumbao, el party se pone caliente, seguro que tú te lo gozas, porque este flow sí que está en bomba. Cuando suena mi tumbao, el party se pone caliente, seguro que tú te lo gozas, porque este flow. Nosotros somos los que te ponen a bailar.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Go back, tropical match.
Requesting more information on the tuba person. Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's one of the main characters of the book, and yeah, they're basically like Cheech and Chong, but they both have magic powers and they live in a dystopian future. So yeah, check the campaign out, back it if you like it.
There's only a few more days left.
That's awesome.
Great book, the music, it really worked.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We have
That's
some animation on our campaign video too. If anyone wants to offer any thoughts on that, it's the first 15 seconds. We have like a sort of a teaser at the beginning.
Motion graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually have a lot of experience animating, and so I wouldn't say that there's any real animation on this.
He's like, oh no, it's not my finest work.
It's more just like still images moving.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, but I could.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Lindsay G.
Oh, that's Lindsay over there.
Yeah,
you know her. You know her.
Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah, really nice After Effects work, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I enjoy After Effects. So I like that.
Yeah, that's a 3D stroke you were using. I'm talking plugins now. Jesus, but yeah,
plugins. It's a can of worms to open. We can go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like a whole show just about that.
Well, as far as video work goes too, though, we actually work with a composer who's based out of Chicago, David Geringer, and he actually is composing that theme song that we used for the video.
Cool.
So if anyone is interested in working with a composer, David does amazing work. His name is David Geringer, and he works with Next Arc Studios. I'm just gonna plug him right here because his work is fantastic, and he's a great guy.
He did our PAC theme song, our Mr. Guy theme song, our Zombie Adoption Program theme song. He's working on the Tracy Queen theme song. And next he'll be doing our Tarmux theme song. And it's just, they're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, music is going to take this comic to the next level, and I think that's super cool that you're already on the cutting edge. And that's what it's always about, being on the cutting edge of what's next, of what's trending.
Yeah,
And
and that's the thing. Like, if people are doing this, like trying to incorporate animation, like some effects to their trailers, it's just a matter of time before we start coming up with indie animated series.
Yeah,
And the
definitely.
synergies that need to be created, because nobody can do that on their own. Although I know it is a tried and failed horribly. We have to keep in contact, because it's I feel it in the air. It's coming. I mean, I don't want to sound like Galadriel, but yeah, I feel it in the air.
No, I agree with that.
Smell it in the wind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's so important for the industry as a whole to really embrace like what you're talking about, branching out across these different medias, because I think the biggest issue is, cultivating a big enough audience and enough of an audience that, maybe comics aren't their thing, but they love anime or they love animated movies. How do we bridge that gap? And this is such a video-oriented culture now too. I mean, just look at the way that like social media is trending. Static images are no bueno anymore. Like we're moving into that movement-oriented like era of comics, and I think it's really exciting that music is being incorporated, video design, because I think it sounds like all of us have some background in music, video production, something like that. Like. I know like my background is also in music, less so in video production, but like that's one of the things that drew me to animation was like, oh, well, I grew up in the music industry. Here's how I can put these things together. Great.
Cool.
That's what it's all about. It's all about trying to get the pieces, put all the puzzle pieces together to create something, wonderful and new, and really, again, move forward in this industry and really raise it up.
I would love to jump in on that. I think something that's so cool right now, especially with Kickstarter, is the ability for people to experiment. Because, what you have is when you have these huge companies where everything is funneled into one giant piggy bank, and then everything that they do greenlight is just an investment, and they need to know that it's a hard yes because they've already done it before. This is their 37th time rebooting this character.
Batman.
They already know that the audience is there. They already know exactly the lunchboxes, t-shirts, and whatever else they're going to put it on. They already know all that. It's already figured out. They just need to redo it again with new faces, new names attached, right? But now with Kickstarter, we can do whatever wonky ass experiments we can think of. We can do, and the thing is, you can put together that campaign, and as long as you calculate for all your costs and you know exactly what you need, if you make your goal, you know what you need to get it into people's hands. And if you don't make your goal, hey, you don't have to make it. No worries.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't make your goal, you try again. That's
right. Or you try something different. If you don't make your goal, you change your experiment. Right?
Obviously.
But if you
don't make the same
your
mistake.
goal, that means people want it. So you can make whatever you want. We're doing this right now. We have, for the last decade, all of our series had this one fake coffee brand in the background. It's in Pack, it's in Tracy Queen, it's in Mr. Guy. We have Tarmuck's Coffee, right? So our next Kickstarter campaign is Tarmuck's Coffee. We're having a thermos made. We're having a mini comic about the origins of Tarmuck's. We actually just got off the phone right before this call to talk to somebody about the actual blend of real coffee that we're having made for Tarmuck's. So like, that's a total experiment, and it's an immersion, right? So the whole thing is it takes our comics, takes a detail from our comic, a fake prop in the background of a comic, and makes it real world. Maybe that's really cool. Maybe people will love it. Maybe they won't. If they don't love it, it's no big deal because we won't make our goal, right? But if they do love it, it'll be in the mail on its way to them. And that's
I'm gonna have a nifty idea for you.
Okay.
You know, Panama has ranked first place in like best gourmet coffee in the world for 7 years straight. And now they're like plantations that are doing like basically boutique crops of coffee.
Ooh, yeah.
If I put you in contact with them, you can have like a boutique coffee with your brand on it. And this guy is like he plays drums in one of my. Okay, I play guitar in a band.
Pedro's a rock star in Panama.
He shared drummers.
Hey, move on, Pedro.
Yeah, we share drummers, and this guy's a really good friend of mine. Like I can put a good word in for you guys. Just the fact that the coffee brand doesn't exist and it's in a comic book, he will love that idea. So yeah, let's exchange information there.
Bro, are you taking notes?
I am. I'm like,
I'm just thinking Royal City Brew.
Talk about it, Kayla.
I think why we all work together so well, and why we all, mesh well, is because I love
I'm gonna have to do some Sister Mercy holy water or something. That's a great idea.
Yes.
There we go. And because these are big ideas, and we just have to make sure we execute on them. And I think it's make sure we do it and put it out into the world. See if it sticks. If it can be successful. I think that's the beauty of crowdfunding, and that's the beauty of joining this community, sharing these great ideas, and sharing this singular big vision. Right. Of course, Mo Biggs does say, if you don't make your goal, you try again within reason. Don't go full fizz.
That's an inside joke.
That's a crazy.
Very true.
Who keeps remaking not a good comic book, and but the
fact that it could be a good comic book, but he keeps tripping up on the same rock. He keeps tripping up on the same rock. So that's the thing. Don't make the same mistakes twice.
Yeah, learn from your failures.
Yeah, that's the thing. If your mistake or if your experiment doesn't pan out, tweak the experiment. Just change it a little, right?
I will say, all my past experiences in life, but especially in Kickstarter and in the comics, I will say that failure is only a shortcut to success, because I feel like you learn so much from your failure, and then you're going to come back, bounce back bigger and stronger, and then you know what to do right the next time, or you'll pivot and you will change your goal, and you will, and that's definitely something I want all new creators to kind of really understand. Again, I'm a new creator. I just started this year 3 months ago, but I do have a crazy ambitious goal to hit 1 new book a month this year.
Wow.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Wow.
That's ambitious. Yeah.
It is ambitious. We're on track. So we just finished the third one last week, and we have actually the fourth one that's going to come out next Wednesday. And here's the trailer, and then we'll get around to say everybody where they can find us on social media. But
we're within the hour. This was a very fast show. Thank you, guys. I had a lot of fun.
True love, the thing that gives your stomach butterflies and never leaves. Or do you believe in dreams? I'm talking about that wild freedom of imagination. The thing that gives you heebie-jeebies, goosebumps, and heart-pounding excitement. Which do you seek out in this lost world? Which will help guide you through the darkness? Are you a lover or a dreamer? And what would happen if your love clashes with your dream? Decisions are all we have. Which one will you choose?
So Lost Magic Season 2 is coming out next Wednesday. You can go to lostmagiccomic.com. It's going to launch on Kickstarter at 6 p.m. Lost Magic Season 1 was, it's right here. It's really cool. It got fulfilled within, I think, 2 weeks. I'm trying to be the fastest turnaround time on Kickstarter. I know, again, crazy. But I definitely want, it was, Pedro was saying it was a great hour. It definitely flew by. We had so much fun, very intriguing conversations about the industry and of course all of your projects. Let's just go around starting with you, Ro. Just go clockwise. Where can people find you? Now people are new fans of you. We got some chat in here. People are gonna watch it. They're gonna like you now, Ro. Where can they find you?
You can go to rolam.com, ROLAMD.com. And I'm Rolam on Instagram, and I'm Rolam on Twitter. And that's where you can find me.
Amazing. Lindsay and JL.
OneshiPress.com. That's our main hub for everything. But we're Oneshi Press on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram.
And our current Kickstarter is findable at kickstarter.oneshipress.com.
Yeah, actually, all of our Kickstarters are kickstarter.oneshipress.com. We just change that to point to whatever our current campaign is.
The living QR code or website domain. That's brilliant as well. Kayla.
You can find me at www.rainydaysart.com. It's a little out of date, but it's a good place to start. And you can also find me on Instagram at rainydaysart or at Beatrice and the Beast Art if you want something a little darker and spicier than my comic stuff. And you can also find me on Facebook, same place, Rainy Days Art.
Very cool, very cool. Corey, where can people find you? Corey doesn't want to be found,
on
guys.
Facebook at Sister Mercy or on Twitter or Instagram Twitter or Instagram at Addict Comics. Sorry for the lag. It's throwing me right off as my Canadian internet is making things really challenging.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll put all of your things on the description. If you guys just want to send me any links that you want, and I'll put it in the description. Pedro, where can people find you? You do have a campaign that has, I think, 5 more days left.
No, 11 days. Tropical Magics, it's still on. You can find it on IndieGogo. We are at 95% funding. We're so close. We can taste it, guys. So yeah, go check it out. It's an awesome story. It's kind of self-serving because I wrote it, but I think it's awesome. If you like Big Trouble in Little China and that kind of action comedy stuff, this is the book for you. So go check it. You can find me on the Twitters as Ngila. And on the Instagram, even though I don't use it that much, as Pedro Anguila 39, and I don't use TikTok because I don't dance. So, yeah.
Good point. That's a good point. I will say that Bone Bigs, it has the closing comment right here. It says, Corey's like, you can find me on AOL.com.
Oh, MySpace. MySpace, yeah.
So
and MySpace.
So you can find me, of course, armandnassim.com. You can also find me on this channel at all times. 2 things before we go. Somebody is gonna have to say, Kayla, can you look right in the camera and say, please subscribe? Tell the people to subscribe.
Please subscribe.
So cool. And we always have somebody completely at random that says the last word to end the entire show.
Before we do that, dude, yeah, okay. Do it.
Because it's you, Ro.
The last word, keep going.